Jaylen, it seems like in each of the last two games, you've come out in the third quarter with an intention to be physical and also push the pace. Did something change tonight at the half where you kind of realized you wanted to change your approach and kind of set that ripple effect for the rest of the team?
Just being aggressive. I thought in the first half, it took me a minute to kind of get warmed up a little bit, but in the second half, I felt a little bit better to start the third quarter. But definitely something I got to, be better at, just starting the games. And that's usually what I do. I'm usually the one to throw the first punch, but, my body didn't feel great until that second half.
Jaylen, you guys talk a lot about how you need to win games differently throughout the course of a season, but this was 5 games, an entire series of having to play differently than you're used to. What was that like, trying to maintain that for five games, and what was the process of sticking with a different kind of play when you probably were looking or hopefully trying to find something different?
Yeah, Orlando did a good job of trying to make us play a different style of ball, and I think we adjusted to that well. I think going into the playoffs, everybody was concerned with our three-point shooting. They wanted to take away our three-point shooting, or do we shoot too many threes? Can we win games? And I think we didn't shoot a lot of threes in this whole entire series, and we had to still win games in the trenches. So I think it was a great challenge for us, and I think that it's a great step for us moving forward, and a series that we can learn from.
And you probably don't look at it as sending a message or anything like that, but as you progress, there are still a few more series that you hope to have. Teams are looking for a blueprint, a way to beat you guys. You guys won this series 4-1 playing this way. Do you think that does send a message to other teams that you can try taking away our three-pointers, but we do know how to win?
You could say that. For us, I just look at every experience as an opportunity to learn. So that was a great learning experience for us to go through a full playoff series, having to be physical, having to get in the trenches, rebound, flagrant fouls, play through it, physicality, play through it, and still find ways to win. That's what, one of the challenges, people would have said before the season, take away their three-point shooting, playing physical. And I think we responded well to that this series. So that's something that, we'll continue to build on, but that's great to have that in our back pocket and take that going forward in the playoffs.
Jaylen, over here, you mentioned it took about a half to get your body right. Was that the knee?
Yeah, a little bit of everything, but for sure, definitely something that continuing to just trust the medical staff and everything, just taking it one day at a time. But I felt a lot better in the second half for sure.
To that point, how important will the rest of this week be before the round 2 begins?
Oh, it's great. I'm not sure when's the earliest that we'll play next week. Anybody know? We don't know
Sunday,
yet.
Monday,
but whatever it is, I'm gonna take advantage of that and be ready to go for whoever's next.
Jaylen, just kind of following up, John, just basically how good did it feel to get one series in the books? It's hard to win in the NBA, to get out of here 4-1 and do your jobs tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't take it for granted. I've been able to play in a lot of basketball in the playoffs, and each win, each time we advance, you don't take it for granted. So I'm grateful to be able to move forward, to get to play in the second round. We did a great job from coaching staff, organization, everybody, for us to advance. So I'm looking forward to what's next.
Jaylen, does it say good things about the mindset that you guys played with when Banchero picked up that foul and you hit the free throw afterward to go ahead? You guys kind of seized that moment and never let them really get back into it at that point?
Yeah, he's the life source for their team, and he's a phenomenal young player. He can do it all. He's so talented and skilled, and he's been leading them, throughout the year. He had a little bit of an injury to start the year, but he was on pace to having a really good season, and then I think he had a really good series versus us. So I think the future's bright for him. But once we saw him get in foul trouble and then hang his head, we were ready to go. So we just took advantage of that from there.
Jaylen, kind of scoping out a little bit, you tied Tommy Heinsohn tonight by winning your 17th playoff series as a Boston Celtic. I'm curious, the Celtic City doc is going on.
crazy.
And they had all the booing with the draft stuff. You've come so far. I'm curious what your reaction is. 17 playoff series won now.
I don't take none of it for granted. This is my 9th season and, my 9th or 8th playoff run. So I don't take any of it for granted. To be able to be in the midst of some of the most winningest players in this franchise with a lot of upside still in front of me, I'm very grateful. So I'm excited to move on to the next round. I'm excited to keep adding to that legacy. Here in Boston, it's about winning. It's not about just getting out of the first round. So I'm looking forward to advancing. It's the playoffs, and yeah, this is what it's all about.
Last 2 questions, Bobby and Jay.
Jaylen, you've talked about the role that pushing the pace plays and how you define Celtics basketball. How much did you feel like it was on you to set the tone in that regard and continue to carry that out consistently, especially with the way that they were defending you guys?
Yeah, it was important. They wanted to slow us down, and they wanted to force us in like one-on-one matchups. So we had to make plays. I think that's what it just came down to. They were just daring me and JT to like beat us one-on-one, and JT accepted it, and I accepted it. We just made plays, just being efficient. Getting to our spots, et cetera. So, our pace definitely helps with that because it's harder to guard when you have pace. But, even if the game slows down, I think we still had the capacity to make plays. So I think it was just a good overall learning experience from this series. We take some of this into the next.
Jaylen, there was a moment in the fourth quarter where you looked over to the bench. Were they saying anything, or was that just heat of the moment, competitiveness that was?
Nah, it's just competitive basketball, playoff basketball. Shout out to Orlando. They did a good job competing. They're a good young team. Nothing negative to say whatsoever. It is what it is. One team had to move on to the next round. And fortunately, it was us. But much respect to those guys over there.